welcome to another week. Welcome to another, it's really glossy. This is the Glossier MangoBalm.com. Welcome to another week. Okay, if you guys are new here, my name is Leslie. Also, I did notice a lot of new subscribers. Guys, we passed 100 subs. That was my goal, honestly, for the year. And it's gonna be May and we've surpassed it. So if you guys want to help me reach my next goal is 500, but realistically 1,000. Okay. But we're getting there. Anyways, this week, what we are focusing on is the inspiration behind the collection. We got to be a bit more organized, okay? We got to do things right. So every good designer knows that the inspiration images, the inspiration behind the collection, what you're trying to say, what you're trying to do, is kind of the starting point because it becomes the guide throughout the whole collection. And so I spent a lot of hours in the library, a lot of hours researching, watching TV shows, movies, reading, things that would just inspire me, being out in nature, okay? And I'm happy to announce that I have over 400 pins on my Pinterest board for this collection. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to kind of show you the mind map that I did first. Then I'm going to show you the images. And then at the end, I'll show you the final mood board. And yeah, you guys will know what the vibe is for this collection, what I'm thinking. You know, I touched a little bit about it on the last episode. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll put it down here. There's a whole playlist happening. And I'm so excited. Also ignore that. That was my dehumidifier. So yeah, so excited. Another week, guys. We're here. We're back. Sorry if it's been taking me a while. It's just, I'm not the best, or I'm not the quickest editor, you know? So it takes a little bit. But let's get started with today's video.
Okay. It's funny because I literally wanted to re-record this, so I didn't start with and I just started with that. So I'm so sorry for that. I'm still figuring this out. This day I was in the library, and my local library does this really cool thing. I don't know if like every library does this, but basically you can rent out a room for 2 hours and you just have to show them your library card. It's amazing. It's great. These moments have helped me focus, especially because the room is soundproof. So I could just have my music, just vibe, which is nice when I can't be in the studio at home. This is like work, so I can go here and just chill. This has been very, very nice. But let's get started with all of my mind map ideas for this collection. I'm gonna leave the name a mystery. It's going to be just collection 001 from now. Again, I'm really hoping I have like over 100 collections, which I know, ambitious, but I still, I kept it like that. Let's see. My main 3, I think, words for this collection, I want it to be romantic. I want it to be feminine, but I also want it to be youthful. Another like heavy thing that I found when I was researching, I have my Pinterest board open on the left side, so if you'll get a little sneak peek into that. But basically I really was inspired by like florals and gardens, and I love the colors of it. Again, also stained glass. I think just like having different color combinations, I think makes it so special. I don't know. It's just going to be very playful and fun. And so I don't want it to look like just like a rainbow, but I do want to have a lot of colors, and maybe like we'll do the mood board for that later, but definitely it's going to be color heavy. Another thing that like really inspired me is the Regency era. I was watching a whole bunch of like Jane Austen movies. Emma is really the biggest one that if you've seen Emma, the colors in that is like the vibe that I want to embody in this collection. I think it's also very romantic, very feminine, and basically the idea behind this collection is having it's about, I think, the transition period between being, you know, in your like pre-teens to like a young adult, and that kind of, you still have a little bit of that childlike wonder. There's certain things that you carry with you from your childhood, but at the same time it's like now you're entering womanhood. And so I really want it to embody that. I don't know when this collection will come out. I think all the vibes of it are pointing towards spring because it's, again, very floral, very like heavy. Like, here's more in depth of my all of the 400 pins that I had on my mood board. Another movie that like basically raised me because I've been watching it for so long is The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. Which again, it has to do with that, like, you know, early teens or like being like from girlhood to womanhood type of vibe. Obviously I had to put Pride and Prejudice in there, like that's the OG Regency movie. I saw that in theaters and it was literally amazing. Let's see, I also have a lot of like palettes, like I'll have eyeshadow palettes, color palettes, that again have to do with like how I want it to be colorful. And another like I guess film, or yeah, I mean there's multiple films, but also the books, literally the Tinkerbell ones, like I was raised on those, and so giving that kind of vibe, like I don't want it to be like fairy core per se, but I do like the vibe of it being in the garden and it's like a garden party, but you're like a princess. And then another thing too, again, music videos. I love music videos. The Nothing Matters music video by The Last Dinner Party is a great like vibe for it. The Nostalgia music video by Suki Waterhouse. I think I also have like a few pins from Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero in here. Again, it's like colorful and playful and semi-romantic, but it's again about, for me, this collection is about that transition period between pre-teen to like young adult, I guess. Like that's really the vibe of it. And like, again, I didn't want to go full like fairy core. I think that's not the vibe, but I was still inspired by the film, still inspired by the colors, and especially the artwork in the books. I think that's also really, really cool. And then I'm going to do another board for the color stories. I'm going to do another one for the techniques. These are things that typically you do when you're making a collection. You have all of these boards, which I'll dedicate a video to each of them. Another thing that I've been trying to remind myself is that even though like I've done the mood board, that doesn't necessarily mean I've done the collection. You know, like my work doesn't stop there. This is just a starting point. This is just getting the ideas down, and then the collection starts. Because again, anyone can make a mood board. Like this doesn't make me a designer by just doing a mood board. But I thought it'd be interesting to show you the thought process, to show you the way that I'm gonna kind of like lay everything out. Because I feel like a lot of the times you just see like these like huge designers just talk about it after it's made, and like you get a few clips of like people working in the studio and then it's on the runway, but you never really see like behind the scenes of like actually making the collection. And I know a lot of the times obviously it's because you don't want to release the ideas out there, but even after the collection's done, like they still don't show you the whole thought process. So I really wanted to be transparent on that. And again, I don't think anyone's gonna copy me. I'm a very big believer that you can give someone, like multiple people, the same mood board and they'd make completely different things. So I don't know, like I think I didn't want to just be like, this is a collection, you know, because there's a lot of steps that go into making a collection, and I wanted to show you guys all that. But yeah, this is basically what I got done on this day. I'll show you guys the mood board in a future clip, but for these 2 hours, this is what I got. I got the mind map done and the Pinterest board.
I wish you looked more very. T minus a few hours before
the longest drive, the biggest, most important event of our lives. Going to Universal Studios to ride the Hogwarts rides. Get into the Harry Potter world. Drink the butterbeer. Be, as I am, a Gryffindor. And your girl over here, it's a Ravenclaw.
Actually, we don't know. I could be a Slytherin still. Anyways, so we're starting off with going to Universal. Like, what? This doesn't happen every time. But it is Easter weekend, and so we are doing something fun. And yeah, right now, actually, all day today, we spent editing. I have a vlog going up, or not a vlog, sorry. I have a Moments in Fashion video, the spring and summer trends, so you can go check that out. That is currently being edited right now. I'm halfway through with it. And then Natalie is scheduling one of our, I think it's the part 2 to the skating for our podcast channel. So we were both getting a lot of work done today, a lot of editing, a lot of graphics and stuff. I wanted to take you with me. Also, if you guys want to follow the rest of our socials, the podcast, boom. My social media, boom. Natalie's social media, boom. Go do us a solid. Go hang out with us over there. But yeah.
Ready? Yeah. Oh, it's so cute. And then he said to stir it. Oh my god, that's so hard. I just saw the little stars are right there.
That it's like melting.
This is the final inspiration, guys. Take it in. I have that pen blocking the name because I think I'm going to leave that up, you know, as a surprise, you know, once I release the collection. But this is the colors, this is the vibe, this is the aesthetic. We love. Show you a bit on this side. Of course we have to have the Pride and Prejudice, or no, actually that's not Pride and Prejudice. That is, I think, Emma. So we have a bit of Regency in there. Avi, Pride and Prejudice was also in the mood board, or in the Pinterest pages, as well as, I think, Northanger Abbey and Persuasion. And so Regency heavy. We also have Suki Waterhouse from her Nostalgia music video. Obsessed with that music video. And in the corner on the top, we have from Snow White and the Huntsman. So again, it's giving that little like medieval, I don't even know if it's medieval, but it's just like princess vibe, you know? And I think that picture in the corner on the right is from the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, which is, again, one of my favorite books, one of my favorite movies. Yeah. And then on the top we have, like, there's a lot of colors happening. I think I really want to play with colors and fabrics, maybe dyeing, maybe quilting. I like the idea of like stained glass and the way that looks. And then I didn't add any pictures from Tinkerbell, but the picture on the top corner kind of gives off that same vibe. And so I don't know, I didn't want it to be like heavily fairy core, but I did add like that pop of green, you know, she has blonde hair. It's giving Tinkerbell without giving Tinkerbell, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, this is the final mood board, and I'm kind of excited about it.